they start being a little bit less effective just because they have that 4 range. With these, HuK still got a good number, a lot of sentries in here actually, and 3 Colossi, and that starts to get scary. And does he have? He's got the Thermal Lance, he's got +1/+1, and he's got a bunch of Immortals coming out, 2 more Immortals, and I think he's just building a bunch of Colossus, seeing if he can get Curious to maybe overcommit to Corruptors, although it doesn't look like he's built any Corruptors at this point, so he's actually just building lots of Banelings to go in those Overlords, and this is beautiful. He's got these Infestors, and this is amazing. If Curious controls this properly, he fungles that army down, and he's going to drop these Banelings all over that Death Ball. And because when you're attacking with the Death Ball, it stays so tight together that those Banelings just do so much damage. They can actually take down almost the whole ball. I mean, he's got 53 Banelings right now. That is a lot of Banelings. And HuK getting his 4th base up, but I mean, Curious's army is pretty scary right now. He's got Hive coming up, getting +1/+1 for those roaches. HuK just dropping some cannons at his 4th here, hoping to be safe in case this army tries to run in there. And I mean, this is a pretty scary army, especially because he's got those Infestors right there. You really got to worry when those Infestors plus Baneling Bombs can often equal some pretty serious damage. And here we see the Mutas look like they're going to maybe go poke back in again. 5th base coming up, and actually HuK's getting Observer Speed. Now that's interesting. I saw HuK do this another game, and he actually didn't even build a single Observer that game, and he did not win. But I mean, this game he does have some Observers, and Observer Speed is great. It lets those Observers, they really get moving nice and quick. I'm just wondering, has Curious seen... Curious has an idea that HuK's got a 4th base. He hasn't seen it, but he saw some of the buildings, so he's got to have a pretty good idea at this point. And how about HuK? HuK has not seen the 5th base from Curious yet. Alright, and we see a pretty big push coming up here. This is a fearsome army. As I was saying, if he gets a good fungal off, and he's able to drop those Banelings all over this, and let's see what happens here. Big engagement. HuK hallucinates a Colossus. No fungals yet. Alright, he's got those Colossi in front, and he actually does not know those are hallucinations. Alright, and the army looking pretty similar, and here we go. Alright, and no fungals yet. Those Baneling Bombs, haven't seen too much of that, and wow, Curious's army just getting ripped apart. That engagement did not go well, very well for Curious. We see he's got not a lot of roaches coming back, and he's building a lot of Corruptors. And there's actually, well, there's 4... He's got a lot of upgrades still going on, but this is a big army HuK's got. Oh, nice fungal, nice fungal. This is a big army HuK's got coming up, though. Beautiful blink. Get in there, try and snipe some Infestors, see if he can get any. Doesn't look like he does, but I don't know that this game's going to go on much longer. They're both maxed out again, actually. Oh, tons of Zerglings coming out. And here come those Overlords from the side. Let's see how much damage those Banelings do. Oh my god, they're crushing those Colossus. Doing so much damage. Oh man, so much damage. And now Curious has a ton of Zerglings coming out. And that is exactly what you need to take down these Stalkers. We're going to see a ton of Zerglings with level 2 melee attack, 1 carapace, and I think they are just going to rip through these Stalkers. Oh, these Stalkers do not have long for this world. Oh my god. Look at these plus attack upgraded Zerglings just ripping through these Stalkers. And that is amazing. When you get, oh man, when you get those attack upgrades on those Zerglings, they just do so much damage. Alright, let's check on the foods, see how these guys are doing. Economy is pretty much even at this point. HuK is actually a little low on gas income. He doesn't have any workers over here yet. And how are we doing? His mains mined out. Oh, and here it is. He's actually just transferring these probes over right now. So that should bring his mining up quite a lot. How about Curious? Curious has already transferred all his probes away. Alright, and how about the foods? Alright, well, it's HuK. HuK lost a lot to those Banelings. That was actually beautiful. I was really worried for Curious for a while, but he just did that attack perfectly, and he's able to get himself right back in this game, and he's actually ahead now, as we can see. What kind of army are we fielding? Oh my god, oh, tons of Broodlords. Now these are going to be terrifying. HuK has got, or sorry, Curious has got the +3 melee attack now on those Broodlings and on those Zerglings, and I mean that they are just going to do sick damage. But HuK almost has Kydarian Amulet out, and once that gets up, it can be pretty tough to break a Protoss who has, I mean, he doesn't have good gas income, but if he starts getting these gases going. Why is HuK's gassing? Oh, that's his resources. My bad. Alright, yeah, I mean, oh, and the Dark Shrine. Now, like I said earlier, I don't think that Dark Shrine is going to be too effective. And the Ultralisk Cavern coming up, but I mean, Curious's defenses are pretty good. Got a bunch of... Oh, and here we have a huge engagement. Broodlord's doing sick damage. HuK blinks up. He's trying to snipe the Broodlords. But the Broodlings... Oh my god. He's got almost all the Broodlords. And, whoa, 2 left. Alright, and HuK actually holds this off. But he took a lot of damage. But he's... By no means is he out of this game. We see Curious supply just flying back up, making a bunch of Zerglings, tons of Corruptors, going to be making some more Broodlords, and HuK just chasing everything down with that blink. Such an amazing ability. And we have some more Overlords loaded up with Banelings coming up, maybe going to hit a mineral line. Not really sure where those are headed. And HuK's got his 5th base going at this point. Looking pretty good. Alright, now the foods are still pretty close. Protoss army, much more efficient than a Zerg army. So even though... Oh, and here we go. These Broodlords coming in, trying to get these Templar. He's going to snipe off these... Oh, they're Roaches, actually. He's dropping Roaches in here, and he snipes off these Templar. And this is actually a beautiful drop. HuK's got to bring back everything he's got. And his own building's actually working against him here. A little bit of a Sim City. Oh, beautiful burrow. HuK doesn't have an observer in there. He's got a cannon, but he can't see those Roaches, and they are just doing so much damage. HuK's upgrade's really good, though. 2-2-2. Even getting the shield upgrades. And that's not something we see too much. Now, we see the Kidness plating coming out for the Ultralisks, and that probably means we're going to be seeing a few Ultras pretty soon. And Ultras can be pretty good, especially if he pairs them with some Infestors, so I'd like to see him make a few more Infestors. Or 10 Broodlords, ladies and gentlemen. That is fearsome. Now, once these 10 Broodlords morph, I don't know. HuK's got a lot of Immortals in this army, and Immortals, they're really, really good against Ultras and Roaches, but not so good against Broodlords. And HuK has almost the same number of Stalkers as Curious has Broodlords, and there are those Infestors I was talking about. Broodlords, Ultras with Infestors are sick. They can just absolutely rip up a Protoss army, and I'm getting a little worried for HuK, I'm not going to lie. Oh, beautiful. Dropping some Banelings on this mineral line. Let's see if he gets it off. Oh, HuK trying to run away. Curious doing a good job, and we see some storms. Oh, and he's dropping right down. Let's see. Oh, those Banelings did nothing. Well, it's a good try, and Curious is now pushing these Broodlords up. Now, they're undefended. Oh, and HuK sees it. Wow, look how fast that Observer moves with Observer speed. That is freaking fast. Alright, and we see another Observer over here. HuK just scouting around. He does know about that 5th base. So we're looking at split map right now, but I don't know if HuK's going to be able to take down this army. He's actually ahead on food, but this is a pretty fearsome looking army. What does HuK have to take care of this? He's got a lot of Immortals, but we actually don't see a lot of Roaches or Ultras in here, so those Immortals aren't going to be doing a whole lot. Lots of Stalkers with the Blink upgrade, some Templar. So we'll have to see. Dropping all those Banelings, and let's see, we have a big engagement coming up here. Hallucinates some Immortals. Those Stalkers blink in. Oh, beautiful storms. Beautiful storms. Just ripping those Broodlords up. And let's see. If HuK manages to hold off this attack, he'll be in pretty good shape. Although, as we can see, the Zerg has banked a lot of resources, but look at his supply just plummet. Oh my god, HuK absolutely crushing that push. And we're probably going to see a counterattack right now. Curious actually does not have much of an army. He's building a bunch of Zerglings. He's building some Roaches, but HuK getting +3 ground armor, +3 attack, getting some more probes. And, well, he's got... This is... I don't know if Curious is going to be able to stop that. I know I said a second ago I don't know if HuK would be able to stop the army, but I don't know about that. This is a huge counterattack, and Curious morphing some Banelings really quickly, trying to get those done, but I think this counterattack is just going to crush HuK, crush Curious, sorry. I don't think there's any way you can stop it. This base is for sure going to go down. Once these get those Immortals in there, tank damage, and we're going to see a blink. Beautiful. Let those Mortals tank the damage from the Roaches. Going to see some storms. Oh, and game is over. There is just no way. One Ultralisk. I'm sorry, buddy, but you're just not going to be able to cut it against these Immortals that are about to have +3 attack. Even a Warp Prison coming in. Probably going to drop some stuff over here. Oh, this is just not looking good. And I don't think there's any way Curious can come back. GG, and that's it. Well, that was a pretty good game. A little bit of back and forth. Nice macro game, and HuK just showing us why he is in GSL Code S. He is a solid player. Few blunders, losing some sentries early, but he just came flying back and just good solid upgrades, and there's just no way that this army is going to go down. This is actually a scary composition. When you get those Immortals, you get those Blink Stalkers, you get those Templar in there, that is something that is just almost impossible for a Zerg to stop, and as you can see, he couldn't stop it. So, great game, and looking forward to casting some more games for you guys in the future.